Here's a thought for someone. If a snail loses its shell, is it homeless or just a really determined nudist? Either way, it's got the ultimate slow and steady lifestyle.
Hey, pretty boy. Hey, buddy pecan. I like that. So Slug is just a nudist snail. That's what I get out of that one.
Here's a thought for someone. If cows ever figure out how to use the internet, does that mean we'll have to start herding them into virtual pastures too? Imagine a MooTube for their culinary critiques.
MooTube. Right. Second time's the charm. Hitting the button. I thought I hit the button, but it just sat there on the same screen, so I must not have hit it, actually. Good evening. Happy Monday.
Here's a thought for someone. If cats ruled the world, we'd all be forced to take mandatory naps. And the Treaty of Treats would be the only law in the land.
The Treaty of Treats? That's... Oh my, that actually sounds like... Like the takeover was spoiled. Like I could actually see that happening. Like, cause cats low-key kind of do rule the world. All right, let's get swapped over. I got the 719 account. I'm gonna start with that one. Out of my house, I've got 3 dogs. I don't know. Sometimes the dogs will even like bow down to the cats. Some dogs. Cats have evasiveness.
Chi 100.
Hi, Adva Damasca. How you doing tonight? We're just talking about the dominance of the cats. I'm a sloth. Well, Monday's kind of a good day for it, honestly.
Here's a thought for someone. If aliens are watching us through our TVS, they're probably wondering why we spend so much time staring at a glowing box instead of engaging in advanced telepathic communication. Little do they know, we're just waiting for the next season of our favorite show too.
I need to go back. I still need to go back and change that bot so that it quits getting cut off. I need to put a word limit on it so that it knows. Unfinished bot. I shouldn't tweak it now. This is an easy thing to tweak. Done nothing today, and I had all day to do something, anything. The day is not yet over. You can turn this around. There's still time. We'll kill feature hostiles. Yeah, there's always got that. You got the hero arc to do today. It's about the time of day when all my joints get all stiff and creaky. Make a shopping list. Like that's still kind of productive in a way. What's the Twitch limit on words? $255 characters. How many words, how many characters do I have in there? Ooh, that's quite a bit, actually. Maybe if I just change that portion of thing. Okay, that should work correctly now. Should be no more cutoffs. It's about the time my joints get smoked. Are they your joints or the joints of the meats that you're planning on smoking on the smoker? Alright, we are on the little account. So, quick update on things. Got it up to level 15, Ops 15 today. Unlocked Treasury, Command Center, Defense Technology Building, the Mess Hall, the Holodeck. This station is filling up fast. Which, thinking about the buffs that this is adding into the game, you know, like, they're small buffs, but at this level, like, everything has a big impact. So even just seeing, like, the cargo capacity and protected cargo going up by, like, just a couple of %, it actually has an impact into the ship. I have worse arthritis than my grandmother, and she's 97. Yeah, my father had some really rough times with some rheumatoid arthritis. He ended up getting a shot that actually really, really did things well for him. Like, it reversed a lot of the problems he had been having, or he's starting to have. Lots of real estate available on that base. There is a lot of real estate available, especially with all the ones that all the spaces that they added here this year. But there's a lot that's taken up. Like, I was actually kind of surprised that by level 15, this many buildings are in place. I got the tala in the oven, and I don't even know if I'm really do anything with that. Like, I could also probably get the jellyfish because of the event store that they have running right now. But I'm going to be past that before it even really pays off. Because I'm probably going to put effort into the Franklin. And use that as my explorer for things. But we'll check in on that in a couple more times tonight. Baby Jelly's a good base defense ship. I made sure that I did all the missions to get the blueprint, so I gave myself the ability to get it if I wanted to. It'll definitely come eventually out of some event store, I'm sure. Because yeah, it's got some uses. Like, its ship ability is pretty good. Oh, let's see. I want to see how close I am to doing my veil mining. So I need 1.8. I'm not going to be able to get that with this load. So I'll have to swap that out one more time. And then what do we got for events today? So we have the Ferengi season pass starting. That was doing mining mastery. Ooh, they got a really fancy looking token this time. Dock materials. Hi, Lord Iscaran. Yep, dock material event for the Ferengi Battle Pass. DC Trailblazers continuing. Of course, we got our regular survey thing. Avafall Protocol. This was Suliban. I was already planning on doing Transigen today, so I kind of almost completed that one by accident. So yay. Like, there's not many days that go by that I don't do Transigen mining, and I usually just let the Suliban hostiles hit me anyways. So that one got completed idly. I did all the Scotty's research over the weekend. Haven't missed any of the Avafall events, so had all that completed. Yeah, Epic Transigen works great for it. I was actually doing uncommon for the Transigen containers. We have V'ger Invasion, which is Hirok, Gorn, Orion, and Silent. This does not count for the fighters with the Excelsior. And SLB looks to be on the same scoring mechanics. Research node for the new Chaos techs. Build for the Enterprise B. It's actually a pretty good paying event. I don't know what the price tag is that they've got behind the Enterprise B, but we got our normal V'ger ARC missions, ticketed events, rules of acquisition. I always get confused because they stick the SMS outside of this one. $100. Well, at least it's only $100. We have a limited time artifact upgrade. Payout is Chaos Tech. It'd be a good spot to spend some rares and uncommons if you had them. Let's see, Pinnacle of Power Hostile Hunt, and then there's a Fleet Commander upgrade SMS. So we can convert rare commander credits. See if that gets us what we need. I don't know why I keep on putting this in the bulk refined, because every day it's gone. Oh, that's right. They've got that. Is this one that you get the credit for? Those rare skill points, wasn't it? No, it's rare commander credits. Okay, let's look at who could use an update. I think I've got at least one. That could use something on one of the all the time abilities. Energy weapon damage on Kirk. Might as well do that one. I keep on forgetting about that one. I don't know why that one's just always been off my radar for some reason. All right, so we got that event completed. Let's go do Herox. This is dealing damage. So I should be able to use, let's see, the Silent Crew or the Gorn Crew. Let's do the Gorn Crew. That should throw out a sufficient amount of damage. I feel like my scaling is off. All right, 71 system. Set up for that. And then set up the Excelsior. This one, I think I just upgraded this, so I need to make sure. Yeah, 59 now. We were in the 57 system before. Well, Jets should be a shorter warp, so that's kind of a good thing. I used it to make some pretty decent scoring on the Vengeance SMS event this weekend. Should have just enough around with that and the other thing to do Coda. Yeah, first again. Is it in the acquisition for the second ship, or is it in the ship parts one? They didn't throw you guys in the same... back in the same boat, did you? Vengeance SMS is just a material spend. It's like the most active or the most recent currency in the game, and then materials. Oh, the Kilviger one. So like this one, so spending Signal Observatory schematic scores, and then the Excelsior parts and the Excelsior research score, and then you get points for doing uncommon G7 materials, and then uncommon and rare G6. I don't have anything that I can spend G7 uncommon materials on, so I can only do the specialty building and specialty ship spend, and then the G6. And it takes a lot of materials, because you have to get 1.5 million points, and you're only getting 10 points for uncommons and 20 points for rares. So it's usually a pretty good advantage to sneak in a combination of the building stuff and materials. Otherwise, getting 150,000 uncommon materials to spend is a lot. Send me your G7 uncommon. I'm gonna need it eventually. Like, at this point in the game, I would probably trade it for Sigma Bar Steel. Well, when you look at the 7-day and 30-day chest at 71, it's actually not that bad. So like on the 70-day chest, I'm making, or on the 7-day chest, it's 11,000 uncommon. And then the 30-day chest, it's 40,000 uncommon. So if you save up a few of these on your jump from 70 to 71, like, you can really cash in. That's how Samuel got hers so quick. It was a combination of saving up that kind of stuff and just really good timing on low participation in the event. This is the 7-day one. So like, we found that the hi Rage Starved. So we found that the kind of time after Coda and like especially during Galactic Rush seems to be like the lowest amount of general interest in spending materials. So that's like a really good event to save up for and spend on, I think. I've been able to make really good moves on the SLB with that one. And that's a significant jump up from 70 to 71 on those. That's the reason I pushed 71 so quick. Like, I couldn't do the hostels right away, but it took me about 4 weeks, probably 2 of those 30-day chests, to get everything in place where I needed it. And it's really funny because there's like a big there's a pretty big swing that I went through. Where it went from like stupidly difficult to like almost stupidly easy. Because I went from doing 1 hostel to 2 hostels to 5 hostels to 10 hostels. Like it's kind of crazy. Still need about 30 million par steel. Yeah, I'm not saying push, because like depends on what you want to do with the V'ger hostels. Like that's a pretty significant impact. It might be worth hanging at 70 unless you're willing to give up the challenge track. If you're not willing to give up the challenge track, then you can just hang at 70, get yourself strong. Once you can get into these hostels and take care of them, like I think that's probably like a really good marker for assessing if you're ready, is if you can do everything you need to with V'ger right now. I was 70 for what was it, about 2 months before I was able to really get everything in place to make the
Here's
run
a thought
up.
for someone. If aliens ever visit Earth and encounter a cat, they'll probably think humans are the weird ones for being subservient to a creature that spends 90% of its time plotting world domination via nap time.
I thought that said Neptune. Nap time. Does the internet involve cats that much that that's the thing that's on ChatGPT's mind half the time? Like, do we feed it that much questions about cats? That and clouds. That's just people that smoke marijuana that think about the clouds. That's a total stoner thing. What chip do you set for 71 V'gers? I'm using my Crenshaw. My cube can do the Explorer ones. So the silence. I use my Crenshaw for the 72s. That's what I'm doing for the Orions. I'm doing 72s for the Orions. So I'm using the Leslie cheese screw with that. And I think that's netting pretty decently on the repairs, because the whatever the Green Orion chick is, Naga or something, she's got like really high repair efficiency. And so if you use her, like I think I'm netting almost cheaper repairs than I am for the Gorn one. Yeah, AK back, yes. My World of Warcraft brain, every time I think of Naga, I have like the sea creature thing in mind. Like the I don't know what you'd call them, like the cursed mermaids or whatever. All right, so that should be the last change out for Veil mining. That'll take it to the end. I mean, my biggest problem for sure too was I was under researched in shield health stuff too. I thought I had been hanging pretty decently on it, but it's not. I am not in V-Nex Veil. I am in James Bond's Veil and Butter Pecan's Veil and Rage Star's Veil. And who else was in this one? Yeah, Veil number 1. Griffin. Griffin's in this Veil as well. I hear it smells of s'mores. Yeah,
Here's a thought for someone. If we could hear the sound of the color blue, would it be more of a jazz saxophone or a sleepy wail? Either way, I suspect it would come with a side of existential dread and a smoothie.
Existential dread? Oh, I was thinking more about the whale part of that than the color blue. Okay. Blue being existential dread. I thought the whale would be like a sleepy whale felt existential dread. Yeah, but yes, the s'mores, the the level 72 campers definitely definitely infesting the Veil with s'mores. Oh, I feel bad about that. Like, it's a fun joke now, but I'm going to be so happy for that guy when he actually hits 73. Because, I mean, that's going to be a really big milestone. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to catch up to him. For 73 at least. So that road to 72 is a rough one because the buildings take a really big swing in par steel. Like really big. So like my next building is the R&D. I should make sure. Yeah, you gotta get a lot of stuff up. The R&D, which I need Tritanium Vault. And the Tritanium Vault, everything's only taking common so far. And the lat conversion here really isn't that bad. for everything. The Sigma Par Steel is the part that's killer. So like there's a lot of that free-to-play guy? Yes, that free-to-play guy. James Bond. Oh, the other free-to-play guy. Lost in. I don't think that I don't think Lost In's making it smell of s'mores. What would Lost In's? I don't know. I feel like that would be like some kind of really expensive scotch. Getting up 72 wasn't hard because of common mat. 72 Academy is beyond painful. The people that had an opportunity to sit at 70 for like 18 months had a really big advantage for G7 getting through to this point at least. He's got a really expensive everything. Right, but I'm trying to think of like what would be like in the veil? What would be of his persona? I mean, it'd just be new car smell, I guess. Whatever one of those fancy Porsches smells like. It's been a while since I've been in one. Hi, Omega J. I don't remember if I did say hi or not. I used to work on cars when I was in college, and like that was always so much interestingness to be in like some of those fancier cars, some of the newer cars. Hi, Lord of Scared. I don't remember if I said hi to you or not. I usually try to be a good one. All right, cruise set. Let's go do Vale Hostels. Get all the Vale activities wrapped up.
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
Hi on YouTube, Jake Johnson. How are you doing tonight? Seven stream streak, Omega. Nice. Well, on my way to 100. There's a lot that can be... That's a lot of streams to catch up on. Like, I've got a... I think I just lost my stream streak, but I was in the 20s with somebody. I don't remember exactly who it was. Well, 7 might not be one of the numbers you can check in with. I don't remember for sure. It is? Okay. So it must be like 3, 5, 7, and then it jumps to 10. I've get a lot of streamers like that I'm at 2 with. Just always like, ah, come on, you know, like why such a random number? Come on, cloak. Ah, I need to get my cloak on. I'm having a trouble like trying to finish out that research, trying to get the last of that. Ooh, I didn't want to hit that one. That was not a battleship. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I was afraid that was gonna be rough. Thinking highest is 60. Yeah, I have trouble getting past 10 for most people. Jason V-neck. I think I heard that the other night. I think mine might be with Major Samo. I think that's where I've got my long streak right now. She's always on at like the most convenient time for me. I miss Loston quite a bit because we cross over fairly frequently on time. Like every once in a while I get away with the with like the random Ultra or Morty stream. I don't get to have those very often though. The time zones really suck for that. CDB too is kind of hit or miss for me. Like I get to catch his streams on Sunday most of the time. But like his day streams are kind of hit or miss. Like a lot of times it's really good stuff for me to have on in the background while I'm working, but if I'm taking customer calls or something like that, then it's tougher to do. Or if I'm leading training or some crap. And back streamers only get when I'm awake all night. Yeah, for the most part, you know, like Ultra's on a little bit later in his time, so it makes it easier to catch for me. Not a fan of followers only chat. He's one of the ones that does followers only. Yeah, I don't usually stick around in followers only chats very long myself. Like if I'm looking for a random channel to raid and I see that they're in followers only, I'll usually turn away from it. Like I understand like some streamers, like once you get to a certain size, is like you have people that come in and just be dickheads. But if there's been a problem in the past with people coming in and being asshats, then I can understand wanting to leave followers only mode on. Yeah, Ultra pops on about the time that I'm getting ready for work. So like I can have him on while I'm commuting. And then he's usually on at least through my first cup of coffee. Is that the one that I just attacked? I'm surprised that actually just stalled out like that. Is that really not there, or is that fake not there? Okay, so they're still in the system. They're just showing in the same spot. Nab them before they despawn, I guess. I already partially damaged them. Who should I spend depot tokens on? Walk Marcus, or Walk Scotty? I'm partial towards Marcus. They're trying to boost their follow numbers. You can follow and be a troll, so that's no excuse. They don't allow me to interact without following. I look elsewhere. That's kind of the way that I look at it too. I mean, there are new streamers, like the default is to have followers only mode on. Like there are new streamers that you'll see that don't change it. But it's a choice. It is a tactic to get the follower count higher and stuff. I know Walk Scotty is a good one to have too, but I feel Carol's got the Carol's got a little bit more versatility, I think. Like I always use her on my Serene Squall. Like that's where she is most of the time because she plays into that ship ability so well. I don't think I have the shield ability to have her below deck yet. Like she's been like okay without the she's okay either in place of Janeway or if I do both of them, then I usually can't hold shields. Not yet, at least. It's getting really close to that point where I can. Maxing Seska will tip that though too. Yeah, there's definitely, anytime you make any significant changes, it's definitely worth testing. Because so many things interact with each other in so many specific ways that you never know what the outcome is going to be until you test it. I think this should be the last trip. Yeah, 40. These timers being all screwed up for the insta jump is weird. Is that the level 5 one, Omega? Yeah, I technically I've defeated one when they did the auto clear at the beginning of this arc this month. You know, so I'm gonna count that as a as a completed one. But no, I have not been able to do it with a ship yet. I think I'm getting close though. Good evening, Tin Man. How you doing tonight? Stuck hostile. Still sick. I streamed for an hour. I had enough. Sorry to hear that. We've definitely had a second round of bugs going around in our office at work too. Did find out something new though. Well, finding out something new is good. Oh, you made it to Mord's anniversary stream? I didn't get a chance to get in there today. Or I might have tabbed it and I hadn't had a chance to like say hi yet. I don't remember. It's nice to wish him happy anniversary. Yeah, it's always kind of fun, especially when it's like the anniversary thing that you can do through Twitch chat. I don't remember if they do that for affiliates or if it's only for partners, but like that's always really cool where they got that special like birthday hat emote that you can do for them or whatever. All right, that veil is done. We'll go do the hazard hostels. Gorkon, Captain Chang, and Kern. I don't know who Kern would be. Kurla? Kern is Worf's brother. Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I'm not going to say I think it sounds wrong. I mean, that's pretty damn close if it isn't it. I'm thinking Curler too. Because I think Curler was one that paired well with Gorkon. That's like that crew that you use to hit hard and heavy right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard others talk. Like similar crew to that for doing the Orions. Is that already that? Hazard. Okay, we can leave this system now. I love the House of Quark episode. I remember that he had came to DS9 to have Worf kill him. Give him his whatever ritual killing. I don't know if that's the same episode. There was a couple of different episodes with him. I don't remember if that was the first one where he showed up or if that was one of the later ones. Yeah, when I've been doing my mission bosses, I've been doing Martok, Giorgio, and Tal for what I've been doing on mine. That's given me like a really decent punch up and stuff on it. Tal's not an option. Well, Tal could be replaced with Chang. Or Gorkon for that matter, I guess. Well, we're talking about the yellow mission bosses, so Tal would still work. Well, we started with the yellow mission bosses actually. Yeah, 2 years. That's right. You would have really missed the. You would have missed the last Tal release. I feel like 2026 is the year of Tal. Everybody will get Tal this year. I mean, they keep on capping him, so I mean, it feels like they have intent there. So I'm gonna leave the extra 400 for tomorrow. So I think with this, or should I? Yeah, because I can punch down if I have to, if it's hard. We had one chance to get the full pull. Hardly use them anymore, so well. Yeah, there's a lot of cases where they have him not being used, because even like he doesn't even work with Neelix. Oh, he's absolutely a desperation officer. He's the use this when nothing else will work officer. Which Leslie still fills that role a lot of times too. I mean, Tal's basically a cheese crew too. Yeah, you don't need crews like Tal or Leslie when you're buying all the new techs and stuff. Oh, that stuff needs a lot of refresh. And yeah, going back to your comment about the transigen, I'm still doing my max pulls on the epic transigen and doing all the conversions that I can. In fact, I need to go mine rare again. I was trying to get set up with it with my Squall, but I didn't quite have a system that plays into it. But I'm starting to get a lot of these things leveled. I was working on the one that does the cargo capacity here for this chest, but I don't know which one I'm going to replace that with now. The Apex barrier. Is that one PvP or is that PvE too? It says enemy ship. That one's both PvE and PvP. That one wouldn't be a bad one. Yeah, let's do that one. Because I think I don't need 3-star component efficiency. I don't need 4-star component efficiency. Kinetic and energy damage wouldn't be bad either. But I feel like Apex barriers, I think, is where I'm gonna get the most benefit. Yeah, I've got the mastery artifacts where I can right now. So like I have all the stuff I need except for the gong. The gong is the only one that I have that I can get extra stuff for, but I still need to have one more level 20 artifact. I should probably start collecting the gong. That's the only one that I'm going to be shy on right now. The other ones I have enough stuff to max them. They're not here, they're in the rare. Coming along with the rare. The rare's the hardest one for me to keep max stocked up in. So I do have Nier's Lego Tome, the classic phaser, and the self-stealing stem bolts. So I can do these ones for the event that's running right now. Because the coda always pays on the epics and the mastery artifacts. It doesn't pay on the rares, or if it does, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna camp at Ops 64 for a while with everything maxed till I figure out the V'ger 65 system. I think that's a fair tactic. Figure out what you need to work on it, and then once you're comfortable with them, then move up. Because if you like the challenge track, it's definitely worth making sure that you can do your completions for it. And I think it's a pretty good system. Like, I would jump to 72 today if I could, because I know I can't hit the 72s. I would chill out at 71 for a little bit longer to get myself ready. But like, I was pulling some of the specialty ship stuff, like I was pulling the Reliant, but I'm getting really close to unlocking Vengeance. So I'm kind of stacking this stuff up to get Vengeance parts out of that refinery for a bit. Always good to plan ahead wherever you can. I tried to run in the Rove and no go rod. He doesn't get me there. 118 days for Quantum Slipstream. Well, Quantum Slipstream isn't necessary for it, really. Unless you're using that to get the Rataran up there. Yeah, if you need that for the warp distance, that makes sense then. Three months, the GS31. That could always go a little bit quicker than you expect, though, too. Serene Squall. I'm gonna go set that out on rare. I can't quite get that to... Or that is rare, isn't it? Oh, I didn't realize that was the rare system. I could have been sitting on that one already. You're pulling the extra parts in the new refinery. Yeah, and then it's probably in the Ferengi store right now, too. Or the Arc store, whichever one has the parts. Yeah, the Ferengi store. There should be GS31 parts there. If you... I think this is the ship that if you pull all the parts and then tier the ship up, it doesn't refresh that pack. But I think everything else in here does. But it's always worth trying. Pull all 10 parts that you can pull. And then if your ship tiers up, to go back and check to see if you can pull that pack again at the new tier. I know that works for Vindicator. I'm pretty sure that worked for Relativity. I feel like that worked for the Protector too. It's always worth trying that to see if you can get a bonus pull out of it. One part away, that's definitely perfect time to test. It never works out better than that. Let's do rare with these ships too. I actually ran myself out of rare splicers. I've had to put the Reliant in for heavy work over the last couple of days. And anytime I'm sending these miners out to transigen space, I usually just like put one captain on that I don't care is missing in case I decide I need to do something else too. I mean, there's times I'll even, especially on Mondays like this, where I know that I'm not going to be using Discovery to warp things around. I'll swap that dock out too. And run like all the ships mining except for one. Prime warp range on what? GS31? Oh, the disco. Yeah, the Alliance Tournament store is really good sourcing on that, and then Outpost Refinery? I think the Outpost Refinery is the other spot where you get the Valor emblems. Yeah. I think I'm getting to the point where I need to possibly stop pulling them because I might have Or be getting pretty close to having enough to cover everything I need to upgrade still. Yeah, we'll just go here. You have a good plethora? I do have a plethora. I don't know if it's an adequate plethora. Let's take a peek. So we need to do resource allocation and valor emblems. So there's a total needed. Oh, I still need 1900 to do everything. There's a few things that covers, I guess. So there's prime station siege. Oh, there's a couple of these that are multi-level primes, aren't there? Or they're just kind of expensive. They're just kind of expensive. So, like, I don't need this Prime Dominion solo rating. So I can ignore that one. And then Station Siege and Critical Hit Reduction are the two trees that need it still. So I only need 900 more of those. I actually did quit pulling it. So I really don't care about the Station Siege one. I might... Prime Mirror Particles, I might be getting there too. This is worthwhile going through. This is worthwhile to go through every once in a while. That one still needs 2,500. Some of that stuff is kind of questionable worth it, though. I'd still want the isolytic damage. I probably don't need the mirror prime efficiency. Maybe, maybe not. Even the liquid trollium D refining is questionable. That's decisions to be made. Grab some good research with the Valor Emblems while we wait for the next Disco Prime. Next Disco Prime at 68. It could very well be. It's definitely worth just going through and double checking that. If you're using Spock's Club at all, doing that resource allocation for those prime particles that are available in those stores. 69, nice. Checking the resource allocation for that stuff is very beneficial. I just did that with the Continuum. I just realized that I had like my last thing there. Almost top 67. I think that's kind of a rough upgrade still. 67 to 68 I think is a little rough. I think you got to do all the buildings again. Because like anytime that you can get a new ship, they make you redo everything inside. Oh, just the operations building? So you're really almost 67 then. Like, there's only 2 clicks away from being closer to 67 than that. Did I max my GS31 yet, or did I just get it close? I'm probably saving it for Coda. Yeah, I'm just saving it for Coda. I think I have all the components. Yeah. I have all the components to max it. So when the ship event comes up for Coda on, what, Thursday or whatever, I'm gonna be doing quite a bit. I've got quite a bit for ships to upgrade. I'm set on this Coda event. I'm gonna really kill this one. Got a very, very, very strong chance to get top 10 on the leaderboard again. Which is partially because a lot of the G7 players already have all the specialty ships maxed, and a lot of the buildings really high. So, like, with me being at kind of like moderate spending, I kind of get a chance to really make up some ground in the those specialty events. Yeah, I got top 10 in I think 3 out of them. Oh, I'm never gonna have all the research maxed for my ops. Never, ever, ever. There's so many research nodes that I refuse to do. I should say that there's a lot of them. There's just a few. Let's see. I might have to do some Augment Exile epics. I think after this Coda event, my Reliant will be strong enough to be able to do the epic splicers. It might be now if I give it a good crew. Yeah, I need to do a couple runs there. I should try that with a good crew. It usually doesn't have like one of my primary crews on it. Oh, I don't even remember what all the ship abilities are. Isolytic damage, apex barrier. So if we add in Isolytic Cascade, we'll just run with that. So then if I put Savik and Chapel below. Oh, she's out on ship D. Don't need the shield health. I'll take the hull health though. It's been a while since I've actually tried grinding with the Reliant. That person forgot to kill their chaser. Today's features, yeah. All G6 research needs to be maxed before you can do G7 research. I don't think all needs to be maxed. I haven't looked at it though, but like I don't think the rare hazard research or whatever, right? Just the stuff that requires regular mats and the regular mats. Hazard is a different category in my mind. I think that's fair to count it as a little bit different. But I think that's kind of like the same way that Surge is different from like the G7 research. Because Surge is the equivalent to what the Hazard research is. Surge to G7 is what Hazard is to G6. I got pretty good chunk of that stuff taken care of so far. I think about the time I get my vengeance is about the time that I get this wrapped up. Give or take. I might have vengeance first, but I don't know. It's coming along good though. I think by the end of the month. I'll have that all wrapped up. Does the Surge research take any G7 stuff, or is it just the Surge particles? So yeah, I can't see any of it yet. I might actually get this Prime. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, you don't actually get into the G7 research until level 72. Which is so weird. 71 is G7 light. Let's see. I'm looking for the loot goblins. The required G6 reminded me of the priority 1 away research with all the prerequisites. Yeah, some of that stuff was really weird. Surge research takes G7 common mats. Okay, so that won't be too bad then. It looks like somebody's already been out loot gobbling tonight. Loot goblining. My tactics may not come out on top. When in doubt, let your way out. Oh yeah, I mean, I still can't believe how decent the lat conversion is for G7 commons. Like, that surprises the hell out of me. That's way more imbalanced than... What was it that was really bad? Was it G5? I think it was G5 that was like super out of balance. Like they reduced that to like a factor of 10 to 1 or something almost. Any of the loot goblins here? No. Well, let's see what the ship does. That doesn't look good. That's not bad. That's not really paying for itself. That's not a sustainable level yet. We'll probably do better against the hijacked ships. Not these ones don't carry epic. Well, this spawn doesn't, at least. I'm guessing this is the type of system where it spawns the 60 and the 62. I am glad I left Seska on the bridge. I really didn't think I was going to actually need her. I might actually have to think about putting Black Ops and Benga down there to get the extra little bit. Well, I know the 60s are G5, but I was in the 62 system. And it just happened to spawn a 60 D7. Because like here, this will probably spawn a 64 instead of a 62. I think if it spawns a 62, I'll be able to take it out for sure. Spawns a 64, I don't know. 62. Yeah, you always want to be above the two. Because if you're going to be spawning in the system that ends in 2, you might as well just be in the system that ends in 50 and get that much more. Like most of the time I do most of my grinding in the 56 system right now. Or the auto grinding. guess that's why I moved up to the 64 system. I don't think I could take the 64 hostile though, but we'll see. I'll be able to do it later this week for sure. No. Was it shields? It was shields. So we can drop Janeway. And put in Anorax. Where is he? I guess past the shield hump at all also. Sort by, you know what? That would have been very easy since his name starts with an A. There's not very many officers that would have been in front of him. That is a fair point. I generally try to sort by name when I get sick of trying to find him, but usually I could find him at the beginning of the list. Ooh, that's got like another full cycle. I can't wait till they get the next filtering option out there. At some point, we're going to be able to do some kind of a search function or something. We have to. Yeah, what was the other one that I was always trying to think of? Like, Apex Barrier wouldn't be a bad one. What was another one that I miss? Howdy, Broken Wolf. I think Apex Barrier is one of the bigger ones that I think of. I find myself trying to look for that one fairly frequently. They've done a pretty decent job on what they've done so far. We just need to be able to search. So I'm gonna just attack a 64 and see what happens. No good. Still shield issues? Or am I just all powered? Still shield issues. Ship's just a little too tiny yet. Yeah, it didn't take but a few shots to get the shields back out. A couple other officers that I have off the ship. would probably help. But they're not available. Where am I looking? I'm confused about where I'm supposed to be looking. Yes, if it lasts more than 4 hours, definitely seek medical attention. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Oh, it's because he said howdy. See, I thought maybe he was using a VTuber in his stream. I was like, or like profile picture or something. All right, so that did not pan out. So we will go back to tried and true. Actually, we don't need to do tried and true anymore. We can go to loot crew. I always forget about that. I've opsed up since I last saw this stuff. That one. Yeah, it took me a bit to catch on to that one. Oh, the shark? I don't remember that.
Hello, motherfucker.
Thank you for the bits, Omega. I know. I was just looking all over the place. I'm like, where is this guy playing? You know, playing as Woody. Hi, Omega J. The trumpet makes me feel a little sad. I don't know if that was stopped in time or if that's gonna end up catching me. I wonder if that's from one of the newer Toy Stories that I haven't seen, maybe. That was the first? Maybe I just don't remember it then. Yeah, even seeing the GIF, it didn't bring it back. Like, I can imagine, like, I can visualize the concept, I just don't see the scene. Minnie Mabel said the new Muppet Show was very good. Was that the one that was on, like, Friday? Or something? Sometime within the last week? Yeah. I had it on in the background. I wasn't like watching it, but it definitely seemed like it hit all the right vibes. To Hugh or not to Hugh? That is the question. Well, I wasn't gonna miss it. It had Sabrina Carpenter on it. No, I'm just kidding. I had no idea that it was coming on. I was just happened to... Oh, it came on after the replay of the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. That's what it was. So I was like, I don't usually watch NBC because it doesn't come in great on my TV most of the time. In fact, I'm kind of lucky if it does come in. Does it depend on the weather? Not really. It just depends on, like, luck, I think. Because I've got, like, an over-the-air antenna kind of thing that I use for getting, like, all my local channels. And it's stupid because, like, the NBC station is the one that's closest to me. Or I'm pretty sure is closest to me, at least. And that's the one that always comes in the worst. I don't know, maybe that's like the solar flares or whatever were amplifying the signals or something. I know, like you said in the news, there's another big coronal ejection. Would you have a crew for Outposts? I don't think I have like a really decent crew. I just have one that kind of works. The station is closest or their antenna is closest? I think both, honestly. I think I think most of the stations here have their antenna at their location. Not to say that it's necessarily like the one that I'm receiving the signal from. It's hard to say for sure, I guess. I am gonna have to try out that method to see if I can pull that one off. I haven't messed with that one yet. The 24-hour church channel that comes in crystal clear. Mine is like the one that always comes in 100% crystal clear around me is Ion. But I know that one is actually like stupidly close. Local stations in Reno are located in the city, but their antennas are on nearby towers. Yeah, we don't have mountains. It's kind of funny, like, when I travel up to Duluth, like, there's like a large, I don't know if you want to call it a bluff, that encircles the city. Because the city's much lower than the surrounding land, as it's, I don't know, kind of like been eroded down by the Lake Superior or whatever. But it's a pretty significant elevation change. I don't know how many 100 feet it is, but it's kind of the same thing. Like all around the city at night, you can see all the antennas glowing up on the ridge line. There's not very many places around that I get to see something like that. That's one thing I do need to work on, though, is getting myself set up with a good outpost crew. Like I'm doing decent, but I could probably punch up a little bit more if I balance it all right. It's only a bluff if they don't have the cards to win. Yeah, it gets interesting because around here, like the glaciers tore out like all of the terrain, kind of flattened everything out. But in certain areas, they left like big piles of the moraines still. So like they have like hilly areas that are almost like driving through Almost like driving through like the Appalachians on the interstate in Tennessee. Lurking and scaping. Yeah, I did activate the microscape thing. I didn't see if it was registering their energy updates. Oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. I forgot about that too. We can do 3 as a streamer. We can do 3 redemptions. It didn't sound like it was a hard rule, but it was suggested to keep it to 3. I think that's kind of a cool thing that the overall community's kind of adopted. I don't know if anybody's ever really played into it. You just basically sign into a Twitch. So it's like just a little 8-bit style game. So like right here, I'm in an activity where I'm just mining tin, basically. And so you just kind of set yourself to a task. There's not much of like an instruction guide. If you click on the map, it'll show you like the little tasks that are around. So like if you go out to the map, you can kind of pick an area and select a task. So like if you have like the right statistics, you can take on like this Mothman, call it like a hostile. You can go mine these things if your stuff is the right level. Gonna eat and sleep if it's cold, it's still kicking my butt. Well, enjoy your food and definitely get some good rest. Thank you for stopping by, Tin Man. But yeah, if you do some of these things, like there's prerequisites to it. So like you need a flower pot and a water bucket to knead dough. So you have to go create those things or buy those things. Like kind of like the starting tasks are in like this farming area. Like you can kill chickens. You could fight against these chickens and you earn feathers and raw chicken and yeah, it's a game. It's tied into the stream. So by watching streams, you get energy. And then like I did a couple of redeems earlier. You can redeem to add energy for it. So like I did the +1 hour for all. And then I'm getting an hour added for being a participant, and I can hold up to 25 hours, and right now I have 24. And it's a little idle farming type of game. Because, like, I set this up during Mini Mabel's stream, I think, is when I was playing with this, and I kind of figured it out a little bit. We're on World 3. If we go over to Worlds, World 3 is kind of the one that most of us are trying to pick up together through. Yeah, it's just a little fun game to play alongside a stream. It's brand new, like it came out very recently, so like I think the full idea of it hasn't evolved yet. It's designed to be like an old school RuneScape, where you just craft, collect, craft, make armor, skill up, complete harder crafting and stuff as you evolve. Yeah, after I get done with the Augment Exiles, I'm gonna be starting an outpost myself, and I can run through what I've been using. Maybe I could set up the survey cruise. I know for a while there were people that were doing one ship loot crude. But I imagine doing the 2 surveys behind it would give them a little more ability to punch up a level. You have to go to the site. It's a different thing that you do in the background. It's that microscape.cc. Is it their website that's not streaming friendly? It all depends if you're on mobile or not. Hi, Simpoli. Thank you. Thank you for the follow, and good morning to you as well. Can't get much more chill on a mining Monday. Have all your miners out and probably attack too soon. Yeah, there's a very good chance that you attack too soon. Premature attack. I mean, it's easy to get a little overexcited on your first attempt. But how's it going, Zimbali? How you doing? Okay, that should give enough epic splicers for that double chest pull, hopefully. Yes. Okay, so let's set there. Let's set an outpost. No, I haven't. My relativity just got tiered up quite a bit. And I'm wondering if that would be worth throwing in. I haven't really looked into the main statistics of it all. Like, it doesn't have the DPR. It does have the shield and hull, though. It does have the shield and hull. And once this gets maxed here, it'll be very formidable. Well, that doubles the shield. That's crazy. Because that'll be right on par with like where my Koskari is, maybe even a little bit better. So like my default cruise, I got Sulu worked in as captain, and I'm gonna add Uhura when I get her unlocked. I'm running 5 Khan and Lorca on my big ship, biggest ship. And then on my cube, I've got Chang, Riker, and Giorgio. This is what I have been running. But I have not tried out the 2 survey thing. I'll have to look at that here. So we've got the Card Riker 5. I see the docks down here instead of beer. All right, so then we're using the next gen crew. on the survey ship. Because they don't apply to any particular hostiles. They also work on a percentage based. So going up the really strong... So going against the really strong hostiles, they have probably more effect than going off of one of your officer abilities. And we also have the cadets for the same reason. So what surveys are we suggesting in this kind of a crew setup? Like, are we thinking Selkies? Or does it not really matter? Or do they need to be like the G6 faction ships? See, my squall is only at tier 13, so I don't know if it would stack up in the same way. Which the G6 faction ships are actually relatively cheap to repair. Yeah, it had saved the surveys for last, just like station combat, I imagine. How much do I need out of the veil mining? I'm really close on that veil mining for my daily. I need a little over 800k. That should jump to 800 when I recall. Yes, that's enough. I'm definitely curious about this. My surveys are definitely not as strong as yours, but I'm probably not going to go after a hostile that's nearly as strong either. So I'm going to say my lower decks are probably fine. But I'll set mine the same. Let's not change too many variables on the first try. I need to recall the squall. I always forget that when I start crewing up for the outposts. I got a couple really good officers tucked below deck that I keep on the squall. No, I'm guessing this is gonna be one of those things where my officer strengths may not be up to par, so the results are gonna vary. So then we'll do next gen on this one. What do we have? LaForge, Crusher, Data. Okay, that one's just left with the regular mining crew below deck. So I'll leave that one where it is. And then that's got the cadets. I was kind of starting to wonder about using crews like this, because I've messed around with them in some of the earlier parts of the like G5 and stuff. Okay, so they've all got something assigned. I don't know where my strength limit's gonna be. Fail mining is so fun. So when it comes to this one, is this a maximize what you're already hitting kind of crew loadout? Or is this a punch up kind of loadout? I've been at the 66s. And that jump up to the 70s has been tough. Doing OG 70s and 70 elites. So I think 66 is probably where I'm going to be comfortable then. I haven't looked to see what the speed up was costing. Oh, that's actually not that bad. That's a very reasonable cost, actually. So I usually just do enough of the outhouse, the OG buffs, to get it to where it's only using the regular par steel, and then I just stop it when it gets to the Sigma par steel. Yeah, it only reduces the 3-minute wait. And with me warping into system, it only is like a 1-minute reduction. What did that be? A minute, like 80 seconds? I hate that. That visual bug is back. I laughed like when I started my other account. That thing started doing it in like the random spaces. I should have prepped that already, but we good. I don't know what I got the timing at on this right now. I think it can only last through one of the attacks. I know there's nothing really else to spend that currency on, though. At some point. I don't have any intention of getting it until I'm like completely out of things to spend that on. I mean, at some point it might evolve into maybe speeding up the retaliation hostiles. If it does, then yeah, maybe there's some usefulness there. Alright, so I lost both of my surveys. Something didn't go according to plan. Or is that how it's supposed to go? I'm confused about this now. Was it supposed to just soak up damage from the outpost? No? I'm confused by this result. I feel like I was misinformed in my decision. Yeah, this is definitely attacking my miners. The outhouse will attack the surveys with their retaliation ships and won't attack it. I mean, the only advantage to this for me then is that I don't have another ship to take up some of the boost. Did you omega your miners? No. Was I supposed to? Did I miss that step? Oh, I feel like that wasn't explained clearly. Oh well. I'll probably still end up netting pretty decent though, for as long as I can here. But yeah, like I always do like the first three levels of this stuff. Well, it's good information to know. Because if I can make it into like into the secondary waves, whatever they were called, like this is still probably gonna net benefit because of the extra loot. All depends on how far it goes. So I'm pretty sure that I typically have at least 2 ships remaining when I'm done with this. Because I usually was throwing my Negvar because I figured that would preserve damage against the cube. You can make it there, you'll make it anywhere in New York, New York. I'll know better for next time, at least. Well, it's not taking any noticeable damage. And there's a good chance that it goes 72 rounds just fine. Yeah, because I'm doing really good on mitigation and stuff. Shields are holding, that's 99% of the battle. I mean, even just having those do a damage soak from the outpost might even be enough to make a difference on the long run on this. Either way, it's a learning opportunity. Well, cool. With that said, I think we'll set out the squall again. I keep on thinking that the squall's way down there, but it's not. No, that's not the right ship slot. So that left me most of my crews intact. I think all I really pulled off of that was the chalk. So we'll set that. That's not the right ship. Set that back to mining. We're going to snooze that ad break because we're going to raid out here shortly. Oh, let's see. We haven't had an opportunity to raid into Dark Tree in a while, so let's go over. Let's go over to his stream. Let's drop in and say hi. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Appreciate the new follows, the bits, the time, conversation. Hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. I hope everybody enjoys their Tuesday. Gets a little bit of tacos for Taco Tuesday. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their night. I will be back in to stream again tomorrow night. And we'll see what the start of Coda looks like. I'm super excited to see that. Once again, thanks for your time tonight.